Ntobeko Ndlovu.
It's Tembi.
My name is Joseph.
Vanessa Mabara. Then I just want to know
Why are there so many churches?
My question is, why are most of the family messed up, not together? There's too much jealousy happening.
Is it fine for me to go and visit a different church and sow seeds there or pay my tithe there in a different church other than my own church?
Why is it that people tend to, judge other people just by the way they see them? You know what I mean?
Why are we competing with one another as churches?
how can I trust my partner?
What does it mean?
They are not serving the purpose of what they're supposed to. And it really looks like it's more of a business than doing the work of God.
As I said, we'll be talking more on divorce today. Let's hear God's point of divorce concerning the Christian believer.
God said in His Word, God said, I hate divorce. But somewhere in Scripture, I think in the book of Mark, chapter 10, where God was giving the conditions for divorce. I don't like using the word divorce. The condition for separation. I choose not to use that word divorce. So I'm not quoted out of context. So I'm not, folks and those listening don't create a warped perspective from what I'm saying. God said, I hate divorce in the Old Testament, and Jesus was reemphasizing that. And he said, I think even Apostle Paul also spoke about that. When adultery comes into the picture, when, a man catches his wife in adultery, or a wife catches the husband in adultery, then that could be a condition for divorce. That is not a yardstick for divorce. Because certain acts of misbehavior within the context of marriage can be sorted out with understanding and with trusting God for wisdom. But having laid that foundation, the Bible is not in support of divorce at the slightest excuse. There are people who they come under the platform of irreconcilable differences. But I believe with the wisdom of God, there's no difference. There's no misconception, misunderstanding in marriage that cannot be understood and cannot be broken down to the barest minimum. But I believe the only foundation for a separation could be adultery. The only foundation. And even at that, it can be sorted out. So divorce is not an option, because I actually stumbled on a survey that was done some time ago of divorced people in America. And it was done by the World Changers International Church, pastored by Pastor Creflo Dollar. And it was discovered that more than 96 divorcees who were spoken to said if they knew what they know now, they wouldn't have divorced. So which means if we are speaking to divorcees who have been divorcees for years with long-standing experience as divorcees, and they are telling you that if they knew, they wouldn't have followed this path. So I believe the first things first, before you even choose a partner, you must ask God for direction. And when you made your choice, you stick with your choice and trusting God that divorce-inviting issues would not be found in your marriage. So I do not support of divorce, though there are conditions in Scripture which are not rules, which are not commandments, that when this happens, this must happen. It's just a condition that, okay, when this happens, it is not a sin. It is not against God for this person to move on. When your partner is an unrepentant adulterer, your wife is an unrepentant adulterer, it's only clear that the foundation of trust in the marriage is broken. Two people, irrespective of the love they claim to profess, cannot cohabit in the absence of trust. So if that cannot be repaired, you've tried the best you can, your partner is not willing for a change, and you are not willing to go on with such a person, then on that platform, with the counsel of the church and with the counsel of your pastor, because you don't just go ahead like that. There are issues that can be handled spiritually. Through prayers, God can turn the heart of a dog, into a scent. So through prayers and through counsel from the church, then you can move on. But you don't just say at the slightest offense, at the slightest issue, at the slightest misunderstanding. After all, the society supports divorce and you go for it. As a covenant child of God, you must always base your decision on the word and also counsel from trusted servants of God.